Well, I think they've evolved a bit in that Morata, he's been knocking around for years around the national team. He's never looked the real finished article at that level. I mean, he's bounced around an awful lot of clubs, but somebody always wants him because he's a big, tall centre forward who can hold the ball up, not the quickest, but scores a decent percentage of goals. But, he was at Chelsea, Real Madrid, moved on a couple of other times since then, Atletico, back at Atletico again. And the view is Yossolo. They used a few different fellas, Olazabal as a centre forward as well. They've used various players. I mean, after Torres, they played, you mentioned Fabregas played as a false nine when they were winning in 2012. They've tried to adapt a bit in the modern game. In their time, they passed and it looked like really bored teams into submission, but they always found a way because of the brilliance of Xavi and Iniesta being able to find that critical pass in behind the fence, packed defences. Richard played against them, he knows what it's like. But I think they realise that it's not all, you can't always do that. You have to have a main man. You have to be able to put a cross into the box and try and get a goal that way. So I think they have evolved.
Right, I'm thinking of the Morocco game in the World Cup. Like it was extra time, but it was over 1,000 passes and they didn't score.
And they hadn't got the quality. And they haven't got the quality. They haven't got that deadly finisher. So maybe within their game, that player hasn't always been a prized possession as much as the players who can pass the ball are technically special. And maybe that's something that they have to do. They have to make those young players, the centre forward, the prized possession. He has to get all the encouragement and has to get early ball into him at times rather than all the build-up play. But they don't seem to want to change that. They seem to want to persist with it. But look, it's a beautiful game the way they play it. I'd be slow to criticise them. I used to love playing against them when I had the underage teams, particularly at senior level. I didn't go up against them. With the underage teams, I used to love the challenge of playing against them and taking them on. I think we beat them in 5 different competitions in the different age groups by frustrating them when they had the ball and doing them on the counter-attack with technical, fast players when we caught them up the pitch. And I knew they played against us because we had the knack of doing it. Now, the other international teams haven't found the knack to do it, but I always find it very interesting watching them. I think that it's brilliant, the technical players they have, but they're not at the level at the moment. But what they have got, Tommy, in fairness, just hear me out on this, they are evolving with young players like Gavi. Pedri didn't play tonight. Pino started the match. Gavi's so influential in the game. We saw Ansu Fati coming on. Compare that to the Italian team.
Yeah. And
Richard said they're 103 years old, the 3 centre-backs to start the match. The 2 full-backs are 60 between them. And up the pitch.
That makes it sound worse than this.
But it was, Tommy. I mean,